Both head coaches of the University of Louisville and University of Kentucky were clawing and scratching and arguing and fighting, and a war of words was happening for one player. In the end, was it all for naught? Stick with us. We'll talk about it now. What's cooking? Welcome back into another edition of Now We Can Talk Like Fans on ESPN Louisville Plus. My name is Justin Soforo, and before we really get into it, do me a solid favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button on this channel, and of course on the Now We Can Talk Like Fans channel. We're going to have different content in the future, talking all things cards, cats, bluegrass, everything in between. And, you know, like I said, we're getting close to having to talk about Cincinnati. Kurt Cincinnati saved his bleep against Iowa. He was able to pull it out. Anyway, we get into the news of the main topics that we've had to talk about around here has really come down to the contention between Mark Pope and Pat Kelsey over one important player, one Tay Kinney, during their maybe scheduled meetings at midnight that occurred in Atlanta, Georgia. And in the end, I think the expectation of what was going to happen that we talked about in the previous video is what came to fruition. And I'll go ahead and post that now. Jerry Tipton, the Tipton Edits guy who does all the recruiting, obviously, put out yesterday that Rock Chalk Jayhawk was the final landing spot for one Tay Kinney, which does not come by any surprise. He played some games. He was obviously of the five schools that he said that he was still considering before even going over to John Calipari and flipping an L's down in a three goggles. I understand. I know it wasn't an L's down in a three goggles, 6'7", whatever. It's too childish for me. I am too mature to talk about 6'7" or whatever that is. Anyway, but anyway, he commits to Kansas over Kansas, over Arkansas, over a couple other teams that were listed that I'm blanking on right now, and of course over the University of Louisville and the University of Kentucky as well. I'm trying to think exactly. Here's the honest truth. There are some opinions that may come out from me that may hurt some feelings, that maybe some people don't like. If your main goal is to protect, to shield your university and your school, and there's no possibility, there's no chance that my school could be less than somebody else. There's no way that my school has less money. There's no way that my school is I'm not going to say dumb. There's no way that my school is less educated on the abilities of this player. That's the reason they really didn't go all in on him. That's what it is. You're not going to be happy. You may not like a little bit of what I have to say. And here's what it is. I get on Twitter and I understand as soon as we know that a commitment's coming down, we kind of know what game we're going to play. We're going to play the this is the greatest player of all time game, or we're going to play the my school was smart enough to not want to spend the money on him. We made you overpay. Kansas had to overpay for this player. It's so tiring to me. It's so literally I have the reaction in my head. It's I can't help it, but my eyes roll all the way back into my freaking skull, all the way back. I've seen what my brain looks like from some of these comments and some of these takes by people. And I'm not saying that that Tay Kinney is going to end up being worth the money, or that Tay Kinney is going to be the next great point guard. But I do know that one school, my school, the University of Louisville, Pat Kelsey was doing a lot of things to try to land Tay Kinney in the end. Also, let's be honest, the thinking for Tay Kinney for a long time was that Louisville was the favorite until a few weeks ago, or maybe just like a week and a half ago or so, when Kansas became the obvious favorite. Pat Kelsey made the comments about the point guard thing and all of that stuff as well. Point guard you, if you will. And don't worry, we'll have our next point guard at point guard U. It'll be probably from the transfer portal. That's fine. Additionally, we can look at the other side of the Kentucky side. In BBN, you were not blameless in this one either. BBN was still on the player. Mark Pope was in on the player. He had a history of being from, his family is from Kentucky, right? I refuse to believe that Kentucky and Arkansas and these schools were not all in on trying to get this player. I think maybe it was very clear at the end that it was going to go to Kansas. And I think a lot of us realized that. There were some of us that were trying to spread happiness, enjoyment, cheer, optimism. Optimism is the word I was looking for. There were some of us trying to spread optimism, not me. But at the same time, this is my main issue. When it comes to players like Tay Kinney, when it comes to players that are asking for a large sum of money, it's not an own. You're not owning another fan base by telling them that they overspent for the player. That does not make you morally superior to Kansas. It does not make Louisville any smarter, any whatever. And I love Louisville. I'm not saying that I'm losing Tay Kinney may be nothing. And I'm not saying that I'm upset about losing Tay Kinney. And I'm not. But my main point in this is you're not morally superior because another team was willing to spend more money. What that sounds to me is what it feels like to be poverty sometimes. It feels like that's what it feels like when you're a kid and you can't afford nice clothes or nice shoes or something like that. That's what it would kind of feel like to me, is like me in turn making fun of that guy and being like, wow, you really overspent for that? Wow, you're a bum. That doesn't make any sense. Good for him. Good for them. Kansas, Adidas surely back in Kansas. That as long as it's felt like Louisville was the number one school for Kansas, it's pretty clear to me now that Adidas is, if it wasn't clear years ago when they were filtering all the players, player going to Kansas and Louisville, I'm like, can we give it a 5-star? Can we please get it? Just please, like a burger boy. Can we get one, please? Kansas is going to get them in the end. And it's pretty clear now to see Bill Self is on the throne of college basketball. When it comes to guys that he wants to get, he is now the Calipari-esque, I guess. He shows up, he beats your team, he takes your players, he gets what he wants. And, you know, it is what it is. It's what happens when you got a money gun and strippers dancing. It didn't work as well for us, but it is what it is. Anyway, additionally, I've talked about the Tyron Stokes stuff last time, recent news, and I can't remember if I talked about it on the channel. I don't think I did. Final 3 teams been listed for him. Louisville's not in there. Kentucky is. And I don't know why I'm blanking on Arizona. No. Oh, USC. Anyway, I'm blanking on the other 2 teams, whatever. Again, it's high school recruiting too. So it's at this point, high school recruiting isn't the end all be all. Though we saw what happened with, or we believe what will happen. Nothing's confirmed yet with how Michael Brown will work out, but he appears to be one of the preeminent guards in the country going into the season. So sometimes you want to get those guys, but obviously we'll see how it pans out. Tyron Stokes, though, being the number 1 overall player to me, I still hold firm. And I know there's people still trying to spread some optimism when it comes to him. It's how this one panned out. But if there is optimism to be had, we'll see. I would hope Louisville would go all in on trying to get back in that top 3 and somehow pull out a miracle when it comes to Tyron Stokes, especially a player who has history. His family's from Louisville. If it's not going to be this one, when's it going to be? It also makes you worry. What does that pocketbook look like? Do we need some more donors? Do we need more boosters? Y'all can go to the 502 Circle and donate all the money there. Go give them some money. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions when it comes to one Tay Kinney, the fight that happened over him, the people arguing. And again, I guess to really touch on that, the fight about Tay Kinney, I don't think it was about Tay Kinney, right? It's both coaches, big boys at big programs. Was he say tremendous husband, whatever it was, tremendous husbands in their own right. They were putting it on the table, and that's really what it's going to be from now on. It's going to see who's going to be putting it more on the table, and then we'll find out. Obviously, in November. Unfortunately, it should be December, but we'll find out in November when the 2 teams play. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Swing and a miss so far for this cycle in recruiting, but we'll see if we have some good news coming down the pipeline. Stay tuned for all the videos we have here on ESPN Louisville Plus, as well as on Now We Can Talk Like Fans. Hit that like button, smash the subscribe button as well. You can follow me at Justin Soforo on Twitter. Follow ESPN Louisville 680 and 93.9 on all the other platforms with those designations. I'll see you guys next time. Cards, Cats, Urban Bluegrass. See y'all.